Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for episode 162 of the MeepleCore Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Tim Jennette, the Man of Meeple, and I'm joined by my co-hosts,
George Breden,
James Fitzgerald,
and welcome to our 10th anniversary episode. Today, we're diving into player interaction in board games. Has it diminished over time? What types do we like and dislike? And where the hobby is headed? Then we dive into our reviews of Questline and Emberhe, and if they deserve a spot on your table. All that and much more. Enjoy the show. And for our 10th anniversary, welcome everybody. We have Matt RoBear back on the episode or podcast. How's it going, Matt?
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Yeah, great to see you again.
Thank you.
This is going to be fun, man. 10 years of doing podcasting. And it's been awesome. Matt, we'll get into what you've been up to in the couple of years that you haven't been on the show. But before we do that, I thought about having a random question that we would start with, but instead what we're going to do is have a super fight between Darkwing Duck, if anybody remembers that, and Freakazoid. I don't remember either of these characters.
No.
Yeah, who's Freakazoid?
I was thinking the Dominoes guy.
Let's do it again.
I don't think that's him.
We're not real geeks. We don't know these things.
Let's start over with this. How about Mulder and Scully from X-Files?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Versus Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
Are they supposed to be fighting? Wow.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting. Have you ever played Super Fight? Let me explain the rules here. I don't know them, but what we are going to do is we draw from the character deck, which we have Mulder and Scully from X-Files and Kevin McAllister, but we also armed them. So Mulder and Scully are armed with, they're armed with a Beanie Baby Gatling gun. I should mention this is from the 80s deck. It explains all this stuff. And Kevin McAllister he's armed with a guillotine slap bracelets.
Oh,
so
those cut your arms up pretty bad.
And where are they battling? Let's see. They're going to be battling at on the door from the Titanic. So traditionally, I don't know.
There's only room for one person.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like Highlander, man. There's which is funny because there's 3 of them and 2 of them are on a team. Anyway, there's a way to play Super Fight, but usually when we do this, we're just being silly and we're just using the deck for inspiration. So anyway, Mulder and Scully armed with a Beanie Baby Gatling gun versus Kevin McAllister armed with guillotine slap bracelets, and they're on the door from the Titanic. Let's hear your arguments. Who would win this super fight?
Well, to begin with, Mulder and Scully would take too long getting their Beanie Babies because they'd be in a long McDonald's line trying to collect them. So it would take them a long time to get their ammo saved up to have enough to shoot.
Let's say they already had it prior.
Oh, okay.
But Kevin McAllister, if you're familiar with Home Alone, he has already trapped this door. Because they must have been.
That was my question. Like, did he have time?
Oh, yeah. Because they're on the Titanic. This thing's sinking. What do they have? A few hours, I think. I mean, he got plenty of time to booby trap this. He sees his fate and he sees his adversaries that he must take out in order to freeze on this door alone.
I don't know that much about the X-Files. Do Mulder and Scully have any like supernatural things that helped them?
No, they had pistols and they're FBI agents.
That's they're FBI agents.
They're just trained. They're trained agents. Yeah.
We say just had pistols. Like they wouldn't do something.
Yeah.
But Kevin's just a kid.
They're fighting a kid. So.
Yeah.
They're fighting a kid that has a BB gun, though. And
he does have a BB gun. And he has like the
nails.
Little micro machines. Was it micro machines or Legos?
He's got like tar.
And iron. He could fight with an iron on a rope.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they have a chance. Actually, is he an alien? They're supposed to be finding out about aliens.
Scully doesn't believe in aliens.
Maybe they were on the Titanic investigating this before. These people wouldn't be alive on the Titanic. Well, anyway, this is great. Welcome to the podcast, everyone.
First of all, I was in a McDonald's in Middle Georgia one day on vacation, and this guy couldn't get his Beanie Baby that he wanted, so he was all yelling. So then he went outside and decided to rock it as hard as possible, his milkshake against the window. Scared the bejeebus out of me. I just jumped out of my skin. I thought bad things were happening, but yeah, that's
he threw it against the
as hard as he could. McDonald's, yes. I don't crazy people out there. Those
That's
beanie
why I brought
babies.
it up. That was a crazy time. Like,
Yeah,
That was a crazy.
yeah, the lines were ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh
And it
man,
was
so
all for the Beanie Babies.
really, Kevin doesn't have to do anything because the rest of the Titanic bought tickets to be there to take their toys back from the Gatling gun that they selfishly loaded up with BB babies. We have solved the problem. Kevin McAllister wins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Scully
he's
because
a
the
little
woman always
psychopath,
ends up
like-
on the door. The woman always ends up on the door alone. So it's Scully.
Scully. All right, we're going.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Screw you, children. Anyway,
Yeah, just gonna let them sink.
I felt like that would have went much better in my head than it did in real life. Anyway, Matt, I do have a question.
Yes.
Recently, you have went and saw Guar
Yes.
in concert.
Uh huh.
Sierra
They're
just
still
showed
around?
me a TikTok video, basically, of them singing the
Ping
Pink.
Pong Club.
Did they sing it?
Yes. I was gonna say I've seen a lot of YouTube shorts and everything of that. So it was I knew they covered it because they tend to always cover. I know they did "Carry On Your Wayward Son" and "School's Out." They tend to do like these weird covers in between albums and stuff, and they chose Pink Pony Club this time. So oddly enough, they kind of brought up the whole chaperone kind of having a little bit of a issue with. She had some controversy going around with her for whenever her bodyguard like did something to a little kid or something that was just trying to say hi to her,
Oh.
turned into a big deal.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't even know who this person was until her stuff showed up on Fortnite.
Yes, yeah, she is the musical guest I think currently on Fortnite. Yeah,
Man,
Didn't one of them die? Guar?
yeah,
One of the members?
yeah.
Okay.
The lead singer, Odors.
That's what I thought.
yeah, drug overdose,
Oh.
I think.
It was. Yeah.
Don't do drugs, okay? Mm.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Drugs
Yeah.
are bad.
Yeah. And they came out with a game. They made a board game.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did. That was two words together, but they did. It was called Guar in Time, and it's a deck builder.
Mhm.
I have it, and Matt and I got pictures from them.
Yes.
And we've told this story before, I think, but they were totally on board, or at least their agent was totally on board for our band to play with them the next Gen Con.
What?
Because they were going to have a concert, the Guar concert, on that Saturday of the following year for Gen Con for the expansion to that game. And then COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
It was awful, dude.
That's devastating.
I stayed in contact with that agent up until then. And then I just kind of, at that point, it was like, well, that
Yeah.
ship has sailed.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Yeah. They
That
never
would've
made
been
the
so-
expansion.
I guess they
Did
haven't. No,
was
no
gonna say,
expansion.
I never heard about it.
Right. I don't
Yeah.
think anything got published.
Dang it.
But it's okay. Still fun. Anyway, Matt, so we'll start with you a little bit. I mean, anything you want to highlight in the years you've been gone? Since I'm being gone?
General 40-year-old person. I've been working.
Yeah.
It's working on the basement for 8 years in a house, and I'm finally going to lay a floor down. I think I'm going to finish it this year. So
Goals.
I'm finally going to have the basement done. The wife will be happy, and I can say I'm done with it. So
Fair
And
enough.
then what's the plan for the basement? What's it going to be used for?
it'll be kind of like the family room kind of thing on
Nice.
the downstairs, just to make it usable, I guess. Video games and stuff, and then I'll have my own room down there and fun times.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Sweet. You can put like a ping pong table, Matt.
Ping pong? Okay.
Do you like ping pong?
No,
Never mind. My bad.
it's fun. I'm just not very good at it.
Oh, I think it's
Pool,
great.
foosball.
Foosball.
Oh, foosball. I used to be really good at foosball.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to spin it, people. Stop it. Oh, anyway, let's get into this because we got a lot of stuff to cover on this episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you are new to the podcast or if you're just tuning in for just a short period of time, I will let you know that the game Questline that we are talking about is a Thunderworks game that is coming out. It should be announced the day this podcast released. So first exclusive look, I don't know, not really exclusive because other people might talk about it, but we're definitely gonna be one of the first people to discuss this game. And so tune into at least later in the episode for that. But right now we're going to talk about some of the highlights of what we've been up to since the last episode. I'll begin real quick. We played a couple of games I want to highlight. One is the new version of Magical Athlete. If you've never played Magical Athlete, have you guys played this?
Yes, I have
No.
played it.
This is a very silly game. It is basically a race game where you draft your racers. And wait, were you play? Oh yeah,
I did not play this.
That's right. You left, and then we played this. So Magic Laughley has this board, and it's got just it's a roll and move essentially. But you're drafting these little people, and these people have special powers, and it's how they interact and stuff. And it is the most chaotic, just nonsense game ever.
Yeah.
Because it's like this gets rolled. You're like, all right, now you push you back. It's like Chutes and Ladders, but you're punching each other the whole time. It's really funny.
It is a tremendous version, the newer version.
It looks awesome. The artwork's really whimsical and interesting. It kind of reminds me of, man, I don't know, like the Magical School Bus comics or something. Or
it's almost like 70s, like Hanna-Barbera kind of art.
Yeah, it's really silly artwork, but the game is just absolutely fun, and you cannot take it seriously because you'll be up there, and then all of a sudden somebody uses their power, which like boomerangs them and switches your spots, and then you're like, you can't get mad. Just don't get mad. You know what I mean? I mean,
It's all dice-based, yeah.
It's all dice-based. It's all luck. It's all silly. But I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. The only thing I will say is it's like 4 races, and I really think it should be 3. 4 might be a little too long. But other than that, that's
yeah.
And it's weird because the game is only like an hour and a half or something. But it feels long once you start.
It's a little too long, but I think they wanted to use, more of all of the characters that they have. There's so many different characters.
Yeah, we did play with 6, so that probably has a lot to do. We also played Rome in a Day, and this is a neat little tile drafting game where it's an I split. You choose and you put these tiles behind you flip out 5 tiles, and everybody gets to see what everybody has. But you're really concerned with the left and right players. Neighbors of you, because you'll flip out those 5 tiles, everybody looks around, then you take them behind your screen and you divide them into 2 piles however you want. One pile can have 1 tile and the other has 4, whatever has the least amount. You put this little gem, and that has like progressive scoring at the end for the gems. But then after that you reveal, and then everybody will take 1 pile from the player to the left, and then you get the other pile that didn't get selected of yours, and that's what you draft. And you're building this like little empire. The scoring works just like King Domino, where it's like, so many of these buildings times the number of that color tile. So purple building times the number of tiles. If you got 5 of them in a contiguous area, then each purple building's worth 5 type of deal. It's really simple scoring, but the I split you choose is really cool because you're looking at, all right, man, if I do this, I know the player to my right is going to take this pile. And I think that the player to my left won't take, we'll put these in this combination so I can be sure I can get the purple. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's really, really cool. You do it like 4 times, I think. And that's it. I mean, it's a really simple game. It's really fast and really, really good. I was pretty blown away by it for how simple it is.
Awfully similar to Great Expectations, which is the same sort of I split you choose that you pass to the side, but it's in a little envelope with cards. And so you put certain cards on one side and certain cards on the other, and then you make your choices based on that rather than tiles. But it sounds awfully similar, and that was a great game. So this probably would be too. I haven't played it, but I really enjoyed that whole
cool.
dynamic.
What was that one? Great Expectations?
Great Expectations, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll check that out. And the last game I'm going to highlight that we played is Sand Art. This is one that I had on, I think, my Origins or Gen Con preview that we did many episodes ago. It's a roll and write where you're making these bottles of sand and you're coloring them in. You have like 6 different colored pencils basically, and you're coloring all these sand. It has this thing where like you're moving this little hand left and right across these cards, and they're all actions. So once you go to the right, you have to stop and turn around and then go to the left. And so you're bouncing your thing back and forth to take these actions, and the actions are like get more sand of a color or spin the sand to pour it into your bottle. It's a really cool looking game as you're drawing it out and stuff. But to me, this is a low 6. I've played it and now I'm passing it on. It is not worth trying out again. Very disappointed by it, honestly. And the reason is because when you play roll and writes, you kind of like focus on the paper in front of you. But this game forces you to kind of bounce back up and look at all the cards in the middle of the table, what actions you can pick and stuff, because other people's hands can block the spots. And it's like, that's a game. And then the other game is in front of you, because if you look at the sand art, like the picture of it and what it looks like, it's crazy on when you're drawing it in. And so you gotta, maybe if you played it a whole bunch of times, you won't have to focus as much, but you're drawing these weird shapes that you're not used to drawing. It's kind of like how Sam will do like a pyramid, or then you can shake the bottle to the left or right to kind of bump it up on the sides. And it's a really cool idea. I just wish the action selection was completely different. This whole crap where it's like, all right, I'm going to get sand. Check off some boxes. I'm going to get some more sand. Check. I'm going to get some more sand. Check. Then you're like, I'm going to pour. And you spend like 45 seconds coloring your page to pour all this stuff in there. I'm exaggerating to some degree. It just really feels like the cadence of the game kind of gets broken up. So, I'll probably play it again at some point, but I'm not keeping it around.
That's really disappointing because I remember you talking about this one before and I was really interested in it as well.
Oh yeah. I was super interested, man. Super disappointing. Anyway, George, what about you? What you been up to?
Real quick, correction. Not Great Expectations. The game I was talking about just a minute ago. It's The Great Split. Sorry about that. It's called The Great Split.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
On what you're doing with the game.
Great Expectations, different thing.
Charles Dickens.
Yeah. So I've been playing these games. The only game. Okay. I've
spit it out.
Yeah, I'll save the other for later. We'll talk about this other one later. Like I need a lot more time to talk about the other thing. But okay, during the week I go and play games at Capstone, and the people at Capstone they love heavy Euros, which is not my thing. But I've gotten into so many heavy Euros over since the last podcast, and I'll just give quickly my opinions of different ones. So I played Endeavor Deep Sea, which I thought was really very good. But I couldn't get them to play the co-op. We did competitive instead.
And what? Who?
Yeah,
it has a co-op.
Endeavor co-op.
It has a co-op. Yeah, but they don't want to play it. So
no, I'm good.
But the competitive was really good. Although I didn't really feel the theme enough. Like as far as I don't know, I wanted more from it. But as a Euro, it's very good. And then I played Orloi, the Astronomical Clock. I've actually played it twice. Gorgeous game, and probably just as good. I think I would have a hard time picking between those two if I had to play a heavy Euro. Like Orloi is excellent.
Man, if you like
really
Orloi, I am absolutely buying it. That is a game that I've had my eye on, and I really wish they had some copies at Gamma.
Yeah, it's got some clever stuff to it for sure. The way the clock works and the way you turn things to figure out your turn. You've always got options.
Show Matt while we're talking.
ORLOJ, Orloi, the Astronomical Clock. Okay, so that was some of the good stuff, and now for the bad stuff. I don't understand why so many people enjoy Brass Birmingham. Good Lord, that was terrible. So there's so much restriction, limitation unnecessarily in that game, but. There it is. It's. We'll talk about it, I'm sure, in a little bit. Talking about other things, but that I was to give that like a 6. I don't know why it's like so high. I really don't.
I wasn't a fan of it either. I don't like games where if you mess up the first phase, you're totally hosed the second phase. It's like it's not fun to me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And the only one that was worse by a mile was Ada's Dream.
Oh man, I was looking forward to that too.
Man, this one is complex and impenetrable.
Do you think it's just not your style?
Absolutely not my style.
Okay.
Maybe it's great. Maybe people who love that kind of thing are going to love it. But man, it was hours of agony. And then I would say the winner out of all the heavy Euros, and this isn't even heavy, people are going to laugh and say it's midweight, was Galileo Galilei.
Midweight.
Really, I enjoyed that one. And maybe I liked it better because it wasn't heavy. Yeah. That's what I've been up to. I need to play some better games.
Yeah, Galileo's pretty good. Action
I
selection
need to play some
game.
party games. I want to go and play party games. Darn it. Anyway, that's me.
All right. What about you, James?
Speaking of deck builders, the wife and I have been building a deck for the last month and a half, but not with Guar, nor listening to Guar at this time. But it's been taking us so long because it's 2-level deck, so it's just 2 of us. So I haven't been able to play much, but I did get in a game of Sanibel by Elizabeth Hargrave, her latest game.
Oh,
I remember you being excited by that.
That's because I grew up from 2 to 8 or something like that. I grew up in Fort Myers, so next to Sanibel. I had some friends over there. So, but it's a little light seashell collecting game where you're trying to do set collection, and depending on what type of shell it is, you score. It has different scoring type abilities. You have a little player. It's a nice little player aid that tells you each type of seashell and how it scores. So it's a light game where you're just walking around the beach, and every now and then a wave comes and washes up more seashells. So you're just collecting, and it's Tetris style. You're building. You put the shells in your bag and they fall down from the top, but you can move them to empty spaces, just like Tetris. The wife liked it, so that's always a plus.
Okay.
I actually brought it. We had some light player game people at my game group when we played that with Up or Down, and they actually liked it. They keep calling it the seashell game, but I would give it about a 7. I mean, it's not like this is an amazing game, but it's fun. It'll definitely get back to the table a few times because it's fun. It's a light little, like I said, it's a very light little set collection game. The other one was, which I think is a bad name for a game. I'm sorry, called. Now I keep forgetting it. Age of Galaxy, which I don't understand the name, but it's a little 4X game. It took us about an hour and a half. That's because we had to learn it as we were trying to figure it out. But once we play it again, it'd be really quick. But it's 5 rounds, and I didn't know. I left the game night liking the game, but not really knowing what to think about it. I don't know how to explain it. You're exploring planets. You have 3 cards you can play as alliances, and that can determine what planets you can colonize. And then you have all these different actions you can take. You have 3 actions per round, so total 15 actions. But you can also use cards to do things. You start the game with 7 cards, and that's all you have the whole game. So once you run out of those cards, and they're multi-use cards, which are good. I always like multi-use cards.
Yeah.
You can use it to do alliance, or you can use it to get resources, or you can use that to colonize a planet that you don't have an alliance with, stuff like that. It was really good. I'd give that more of a 7.5, but I'd have to play it again probably to really evaluate it. But we had a good time with it. There's a little take that in there, and I played an alliance that made everybody lose something. I didn't really want to. I just wanted that alliance card because it helped my in-game scoring. So I recommend playing it. It's called Portal Games picked it up. It was originally a Kickstarter years ago. I keep going to say Roll of Galaxy.
I was just going to say
Age of Galaxy, not Roll for the Galaxy. That's a totally different game and a better game, but Age of Galaxy. I still don't fully understand that. It's obviously a space game about ships and stuff and planets, but I don't understand the name. It doesn't make sense to me, so it bothers me. But
I think I have the older version of this in my collection, and I haven't played it.
Okay, I know it has a solo version. They said, but like I said, it's I recommend playing it. I don't know if I'll ever own it. I think supposedly pretty cheap on Amazon right now, like $30 or something. But that's what he said at this moment. It might be higher later on or cheaper later on. But I'd say if one of those sales, I might pick it up if it's like $15 or something. It was enjoyable, but I don't know. It's one of those games I'm still wondering what I thought about it. Does that make sense?
Sounds like you got to play it more.
Yeah, I had fun. But
is the real takeaway.
Right. And the scoring was close at the end. And the 4 of us all did something different. So it pretty much evened out. I thought one guy was going to just run away with it. He ended up only winning by like 2 points. So I thought he was going to win like 10 points or more. But we all scored differently at the end. So it all evened out pretty much. So I recommend playing it, checking it out. And I almost called it Roll for the Galaxy again. Age of Galaxy. And that's...
Well, real quick, can we go back to the Elizabeth Hargrave one, Sanibel? I just wanted to ask you, how would you rank it in relation to her other games? Like Wingspan, Fox Experiment, Mariposas, like where would you put it?
I've only played 3 of those, Wingspan, Fox Experiment, and this latest one. I'd put it above Fox Experiment.
What about Apiary?
I like Fox. The what?
Did you play Apiary?
But that's not her, is it?
Yeah, it's not her.
Well, whatever.
Apiary. I'm not very fond of Apiary. If you want to talk about Apiary, it's kind of meh. I'd give that a 5 out of 10.
Oh,
Oof.
wow.
That
Man.
was to me was a huge miss for Stonemeyer games.
I
but
liked it quite a bit, but I
don't
thought it
come
was
at me,
long.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was long. I don't know. I just for some reason it was okay. It's just every time I look at it and it's on sale, I'm like, I'm not going to buy it.
Go back to George's question about
Yeah, but Sanibel,
Sanibel.
I'd put it above. I wouldn't put it above Wingspan because Wingspan is its own creature. It's like a 1 in a million shot for a designer. But I'd put it above Fox Experiment.
Okay.
I thought Fox Experiment was good, but this one's just because it's more accessible and more people can. You're going to get more people to the table with this one.
Yeah.
To me, it's going to be easier to get to people to learn and get to the table than Wingspan. But Wingspan's better.
Okay, I see. Yeah. And then she has another one that I don't even know if it's out. Undergrove.
I don't
the
know.
one
I
where-
can't remember
Is
if
that
it's
her?
published. It's AG.
I don't know, but it's like I don't think it's out.
Mushrooms.
I've never seen it if it's out. But yeah, it's about
Played it on
mushrooms and like
BGA. It's okay.
roots and stuff. Oh, you played it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, on BGA. It's
Okay.
I would think this is better than that.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion. Again, for those reasons of it's not a spectacular game, but it's one that you're going to get. You can bring that to pretty much any game group, and you'll find somebody that will enjoy it. You just got to tell them, if it's a heavy game group people, then you got to tell them this is a light game. This is not.
It's a gateway. It's a gateway.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'd say anybody can. It's very accessible, and
Cool.
it's enjoyable. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna be playing it again. I'm glad I got it. It won't be leaving the collection anytime soon.
All right.
Is that you, or you got other ones to talk about?
That's me.
All right, so deck building and a few games. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I apologize. I'd come down there, but
That's
I'm
what they all
allergic
say.
to physical
Working?
labor.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. All right, so we're going to bust out our first topic here because I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a long one, and that's fine. Just, go with it because we got a lot to say. So our first topic here is going to be about interactions in board games. And if you're not familiar with it, because I'm not, but there's a YouTube channel that's called Tabletop Turtle. And he had a very clickbaity title video called, what was it? Interactions in board games is stupid or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can go see that. Now, it really is kind of clickbaity because if you watch the whole video, he's basically saying that
The opposite.
Like he likes board game interactions, but what he's saying is that he believes that has been diminished over time and that the interactions of the older games, and I guess he said something like the golden age of Fantasy Flight games, in maybe like 2015-ish range or whatever, was the best. And now he doesn't see it as much now currently. Now, to that, I will say, no, I cannot get on board with that. So what I will say, and let's talk about this real quick. The way I think it has happened is much like video games. So video games came out. There's a lot of people that got into it, the hobbyist or whatnot. It's a little bit different with video games though. Right now, video games are like this. There's a lot of people who like multiplayer competitive games. There is 50 million times more people that play casual video games. Even if you talk about like games on your phone, games in a web browser, games on Facebook, all those things. There's millions upon millions of people playing video games and a very small subset that are playing multiplayer games. Now that subset is huge in comparison, but the ratio is much different, right?
Yes.
And I feel like board games are the same way. Prior to COVID, you had board gamers that were hobbyists. Most people playing board games are more hobby gamers. And so they liked all this player interaction and stuff. Then COVID happened. It blew up. Games got big. There's a lot more players in the arena, if you will say. And so, but all these people like cozy games. They like games that don't have a lot of player interaction. They just like playing and going through the motions and having fun, right? And getting points or whatever. And so a lot of publishers have catered to that over the time. But I don't think, for instance, there's over 700 games that get released every year. And there is plenty of games with these player interactions. And as a matter of fact, even games released this year and last year and stuff have this type of player interaction. I just think that more people are interested in games like Earth that don't have direct player interaction because they like this coziness. And a lot of people are just casual gamers, and there's more casual gamers than there are hobbyists, but we're all in this same board game, atmosphere. Like, what do y'all think about that assessment?
I would say I would agree with what you're saying there, that it's just a matter of numbers. There's still people out there that love high interaction, confrontational, take that kind of games. And I'm always kind of surprised at how many take that games get produced every year. And because I'm avoiding those myself. I'm not interested, but there's definitely an audience out there.
Well, you're saying take that. There's a ton of different types of interactions. And for instance, we use ChatGPT for all you AI lovers out there. Anyway, I asked it to give me a list of player interaction, and we're not trying to destroy the video that Tabletop Turtle said. That part really kind of got on my nerves, because it's like, this exists. You're acting like it went away. It's the same level of player interaction that's out there, but the audience has grown, and the audience that has grown has primarily been casual gamers rather than deep hobbyists that love this really competitive nature. And I'm not even talking about player interaction like Take That, like Munchkin or something like that, because he does say in the video, if I remember correctly, because you watched it too, man, right? Mm-hmm. You remember in the video he was talking about like not Lagrange, oh my gosh, the area control game. No, yep.
El Grande.
El Grande, yes. He was talking about El Grande, but how many, there's so many area control games coming out every year.
Yeah.
Every year. Those games exist. They're here and they do the exact same thing. So it's like, even the example he was promoting, he was using a very old game of a genre that is constantly being rebuilt upon. Anyway, but so I'm not talking about like the direct player interaction, like Take That stuff, but he also mentions like Game of Thrones, like this dudes on the map style stuff. How many dudes on the map games have came out? I mean, there's lots of them, right?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, this stuff's coming out, but anyway, not to take a poo on his YouTube video, but I just want to put that out there. So we don't have to go super deep into his video. If you want to say some more stuff as we talk, that's fine. But we're going to talk about some of the player interactions and what we like and what, to get an idea, like what stuff don't you like? What stuff do you like? There's like direct conflict, like Take That was what George was saying. Then there's this blocking area denial, which is like area contesting type of stuff. I need to be there too, but I'm going to be there more than you. Then there's the race or completion for objectives. You got economic and market manipulation, negotiation and diplomacy, and then hidden roles and social deduction. And then there's like passive and indirect interaction where you just happen to take cards before somebody else did, even though they need them more than you, type of deal.
Yeah. And got all of these can be on a scale of more mean to more, I guess, cooperative.
Right. Yeah. And actually, speaking of that, there's cooperative interaction, and then there's simultaneous and mind games. And then shared and semi-co-op stuff where maybe you have to work together to get stuff done, but you're still trying to get more points than your opponent. So there's tons of player interaction. And so let's talk about the things that we like. Or do you want to start with dislike? Which one? Which one's more fun? All right, let's start with dislike. James, let's go with you. What's some stuff that you dislike?
Dislike negotiation. You just said that. I hate negotiation games because I'm terrible at them. What I don't like, and I've experienced this with two games. One of them is Chaos in the Old World, where you could build something. Majority of the game, you're building towards something. You're like, I'm building this up to, like Chaos in the Old World. I'm building up to win this area control here. This one little area. I've got this under control. And then my friend plays this little card that I failed to go read, and he screws up my whole plan and just ruins it all. I forget, there was another game recently that's the same way. It's one where you're trying to get people to vote with you to make something succeed. I don't know if that's Moonrakers or I forget what that is. But I built up all this. I was like, I need to get this one thing. And the guy played the card that said, you're going to fail, because he wanted to fail this mission. And it just ruined that whole thing. And that just makes me mad. It's like, I'm sitting here building up, taking at least half the game to build this strategy, and then you just play one card and just crap all over it. And I don't like that. That's kind of interesting, because that's a Take That / negotiation, because you're saying you could have negotiated and like paid him money and they wouldn't do it. Oh yeah. And I tried to negotiate, and he decided he was going to fail it because he had that one card that gave him points if he failed the mission, which everybody else decided not to. It was a drafting card game, so I think you draft her around or something weird like that. I wish I remember the game, but I remember Chaos on the Old Works. That's the first time it happened, and it made me really mad because I was like, it's mainly my fault for not walking around this big table and reading what that little card said. That if I had known it was going to destroy my world, I would pivot and try to do some other strategy. But that's the main thing I don't like. I don't like those type of games that you can just crap all over somebody that's working on something they're trying to build, and you're like, just destroy the whole thing. It's usually me that's getting destroyed.
Let's mostly take that, I guess. So, I mean, do you like negotiation games where you're trying to discuss like the outcomes of something? You know what I mean? Like, for instance, even something like Pit, where you're like, I'll trade you this for this type of deal or whatever.
No, I don't like that.
Not a fan? What about you?
No, I don't.
I'm kind of agreeing with them because there's been plenty of times where, and usually I'm okay with like dudes on the map or in your face kind of games if I know that that's going to be the majority of it. But there's a lot of times where like games that's not a big aspect of the game, but then all of a sudden there's this one little thing that could, be used against other players, and usually Eric uses them to kill me or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Eric is really good at finding that one little thing that everyone else forgets about, and then it's like, oh, awesome! I'm glad I spent 2 hours working up and feeling good about myself, and something wrecks me. Because I feel like it's not. I don't want to say it's not balanced, but it's just unexpected sometimes, and it comes out of nowhere, and it ruins the experience for sure.
I gotcha. Well, I mean, I get. It's interesting because the way you all talk is like it's almost not even the negotiation; it's the outcome, right? And so, like,
yes,
like I'm trying to think of some games that would differentiate it. Like negotiation would be like, oh man, like Sheriff of Nottingham, right? You're negotiating, don't open my bag,
right?
So you're like, oh, I'll pay you some money if this doesn't. Do you like that aspect of it?
Because that's the whole game, though. It's all revolved around that. You know what it is when you're going in. That's kind of what I'm saying. If I might not be good at a 4X game, but I know what I'm dealing with the whole time.
True.
It's like, okay, I got to build up an army because I know you could just attack me out of nowhere. I gotta keep that in mind. That's obviously like the forefront of the game. So it's just sometimes these little sneaky tactics that they throw in games.
No, I mean, I'm guilty of that. By when we played Zombicide, my group was trying to win, and I had this card that said bail now and you automatically win. And so I was like, I played that card.
Is that Zombicide or like Dead of Winter?
Dead of Winter, Mayor. They're all the same to me.
Zombicide's like full cooperative as far as I know. But yeah, like zombie.
Yeah, it was 2 teams. We played. It was the Crossroads.
Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter.
That was Dead of Winter.
Yeah, I played that card and I made my teammates really mad. Well, one of them really mad. I can't remember
because you got
name.
Personal goals you got to work towards.
Yeah, and mine just said, I had a card that said, hey, bug out now and you win. I was like, sweet.
Out, yeah.
Because we're going to lose because Eric's on the other team. So
no, that's fair. Like, I think it's interesting because I like negotiation where you're trying to discuss like, okay, I'll take this and you take that. Okay, but I'll give you $1 if you let me go and take this action first or whatever. Like that kind of stuff is fun. But I agree that take that part I don't like. I don't like take that where you're like, all right, I'm going to do this really cool thing and counterspell. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Or it's like, okay, now you trip. Ooh, now you can't do your whole turn because your program doesn't work. Like if you're playing a game where you program cards and they trip you on the first trip and then all your other stuff doesn't fall in line or whatever. Like take that, I think is really, it's acceptable in party games. But then when you have it in other games, it can get really frustrating, especially if it's like a Euro game. And then, like if you're playing a really serious Euro game, and I can't think of an example right now, but like Everdell or something, and you're playing that and all of a sudden somebody goes, oh, I guess somebody's got to lose three resources. Matt, like why? You know what I mean? Like why is that kind of stuff in the game? That's like an instance of take that that's small. If the whole game is built around it and everybody's having fun and there's some sort of objective, like Munchkin, right? You don't want somebody to win, so you have to take that to beat them down so that the next person can try to win. Then everybody beats them down, and eventually everybody's lost all their cards to do this, and then the 5th player wins.
If it's the sort of thing where you have an event deck that says, okay, all the players are going to lose this, right?
Yeah,
and even better if it's one where the next round is revealed to you, so you can plan ahead. You can know it's coming, right? And you can mitigate it. that's one thing. But yeah, if it's a surprise and it's just like, okay, here, you take this loss and that's it. You have no way to control for that. You have no way to mitigate or plan or anything. That's a really negative experience.
Now, games like Nemesis, where you're expected your teammates or your players to backstab you, so it's not that bad when they do. It's more funny because my group, we laugh about that stuff. We expect to be backstabbed by the other guy because that's probably the personal objective for you to get munched on by xenomorphs. So I mean, I don't mind that because again, like I say, I kind of expect that. I don't trust anybody.
If it absolutely fits the theme, right? If it's Game of Thrones, you're going to be backstabbing people, right? Or if it's Dune, the board game,
right?
Then then it's okay. There's going to be big, events that are going to happen, and you just have to know that they're out there.
Well, here's a couple of examples that have negotiation without the take that. Even something simple like Catan, where you're doing the if you allow trading. So like, hey, who wants to trade sheep for wood? Oh, well, I'll trade you for a brick. I'm not trading you for wood. Like that kind of stuff. There's no take that because there's no consequence in them like turning the knife into your back or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They can't turn around like screw you over. They can either accept the trade or not. So in that case, negotiation, yay or nay? Again,
there are ways to do it and there are ways that make it bad. Like if it's something like Catan where you have to trade with a certain person or you have to offer a trade to a certain person, right? It's like I don't know if Catan is what I'm thinking of, but where the way that trading happens is open to certain players at certain times, and everyone knows how those rules work and how that should go. That's one thing. But then if you're playing a game like Sidereal Confluence, and it's just, okay, everybody trade all the time, whatever you want to do. And in a 6-player game, 4 of the players can just trade with each other and just completely ignore the other 2. They're not going to have a chance.
There is a reason why they disable trading in Catan championships and stuff. I see what you're saying though. Like I kind of like negotiation when it's limited in some way. And I don't like it when it's this, this back and forth and people are trying to negotiate for 15 minutes over some failed trade. It's like offer it. If they don't take it, be done, move on. And maybe that's more of a player issue or like a specific player type of issue rather than being like a, like the game's fault. But there's another game I was thinking of, which is Trade on the Tigris. I don't know if you all play that. It has the pit element in it where everybody's trading. It's frantic. It's like being on Wall Street, right? Because you're trading a bunch of, I got 3 of this. Who wants 2 of this? Blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of fun because it's just chaotic. And sometimes you can get good trades because it's so fast. Everybody's working off the same timer. It's like 2 minutes or something. That's pretty cool. But so I guess, really, this is going to be a theme with this. Depending on the player interaction, it depends on how heavily or how it's combined with another player interaction. Because in this case, like negotiation, for the most part, it's cool. But if it leads to take that, not so cool. It's like, hey, you want to trade with me? Oh, you don't want to trade with me? All right, well, I'm going to nuke your area.
So speaking of Catan, that's another one I don't like is purposeful king making. Because the last time I played it with my niece and her husband and some other people, my niece's husband got mad that he wasn't going to win. It was between me and my niece. And he traded her what she needed. He's like, I don't care. And he just gave her whatever she needed. It's like, well, that just destroyed the game.
Great Spartacus, Kerfluffle.
I mean, that's just player etiquette, I think, at that point.
So to give just to have this story because it's fun, to reinforce what James is saying, there's a game called Spartacus. I love this game. This is also one of the reasons why it has never made it my top 10, but it's probably in my top 20. It's a game where it's Spartacus, the board game. So it's like an arena and you're buying these cards and you're buying these, like Spartacus or gladiators. You're buying these gladiators, equipping them, and then randomly, there's one person who buys this thing. I can't is like the Dominus or something, or whatever the token is that basically makes you the king or whatever for the round. And they choose people like, Matt, do you want to fight in the arena against George? Do you accept? And like, there's bad things if you don't. It's really fun.
Yes.
But what ends up happening is there is full blown negotiation at all times. So you can make promises that you don't keep. You can trade with somebody, and then as they hand you the money, you can be like, too bad, you can do all that garbage crap. So I think it really depends on your players that you're playing with and the etiquette that you have around the table. In this game, though, it has the ability to kingmake, because there was one time we were playing it and two people were over and they were friends. One person was going to tie with another player. I don't remember if it was me or somebody else, but they were going to, and like the idea is whoever has the most money at the end of the game, basically, once you sell off all your crap. So he got mad, sold off all his stuff and just gave it to his friend. And it's like, he's going to win the game or whatever. And I was like, man, you can't do that. Come on. There has to be, that is just poor sportsmanship. It's not is it the game's fault? Maybe, kind of, because there's no rules that state that during this phase you can't do something or whatever. But at the same time, it's kind of like the spirit of the game that you break to do something like that. So, James, I agree. I don't say that it's Catan's fault.
No.
And as a matter of fact, like, can you even do that in Catan? I thought you had to like at least trade something for it, like a card for a card.
Well, I think she traded something she didn't need, but he knew what she needed. So
I see.
Made sure she got it.
Yeah, that's kind of,
because he was done with the game.
Yeah,
I agree. That's just poor etiquette.
It wasn't that he wanted her to win. It's just he was done because he wasn't close to winning. So he was getting all mad and moody, and he was just like, I want the game to end.
We'll call them table flippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Kingmakers. Kingmaking is a huge problem. Yeah.
What other?
That's a negative interaction.
What other kind of interactions do you not like? Like if you see it in the game, you're just like, nope, I ain't playing that one.
Quarterbacking in a co-op. Somebody telling everyone
co-op.
what to do.
Yeah, every co-op. That's why
Every co-op.
I avoid them.
Yep. I mean, that's not that. I guess that's player interaction, but I mean like an actual type of mechanic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like area control games. Quarterbacking is just a side effect.
All right.
Definitely.
How about wait, is this interaction or is this is also a mechanic? I'm going with mechanics. Player elimination. Like, you know, like I kill you. Now you're out of the game.
So
Just don't wear a red shirt when you play werewolf.
That's that's an interaction though. Like that's your choice to totally destroy that player.
But you got to wear a red shirt so the enemies can't see when you bleed.
No, it's Star Trek rule.
Deadpool quote. Anyway,
Yeah.
That's a bad one.
Then he goes, that guy's got the right idea. He was wearing the brown pants.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that came up just recently. So it fit into the podcast. But yeah, player elimination, I guess, is I mean, I guess it is a result of the way that interaction happens in a game. And it's fine if the game's 10 minutes long. But if the game is more than 20 minutes or 30 minutes, man, it gets crazy. We played, did I talk about that catastrophe game last time? I don't remember if I did or not.
I don't know.
I think you did. No.
Okay, so
Maybe you did.
There's this game called Catastrophe. I think I may have talked about it, but I'll talk about it again a little bit for Matt. Basically, it's a party game where it's like Mario Party, and there's a deck of cards, and there's actually two different decks of cards. But one deck, you're drawing cards, and it's very Exploding Kittens. I'm going to play this card on Matt. All right, Matt, you got to roll a d6. If you roll less than a 4, you take a damage. And everybody has 9 lives because they're all cats.
Cats.
And then after you play all these cards on people, then it goes to this thing where you flip out the event. And the event is like a Mario Party game. It's like, okay, now everybody starts stacking dice, and whoever knocks it over, that person loses a life. Or if everybody stacks them, then everybody gains a card or whatever. Or maybe you put the box in the middle of the table and you throw the card, and if it lands, cool, right? This game has a lot of issues, but I will say that it has player elimination. So if somebody gets knocked out really crazy, because here's the thing. If you're a malicious group, the first player is like, because you can play as many cards as you want, and you draw 3 at the end of your turn. So you at least want to play 3 cards. But you start with like a full grip of cards, basically. And so you're like, all right, roll dice, James. Roll dice, James. Roll dice, James. Roll dice, James. Maybe he counterspells him or whatever the card is to stop it or whatever. Now it's, you're playing 6 players. Now it's Matt's turn. Now you're going to target James. He has no cards.
Right.
So you start hammering him down, and then the next person, George, goes. And now James is dead. You know what I mean? And so now he sits out the next 45 minutes. So yeah, player elimination is really stupid in most cases. I think it has its place in certain games, but definitely not in a game that's long. But maybe that's a little bit too negative. Let's talk about cool stuff. What kind of interaction you like? Matt, what do you think? What kind of stuff you like? What's your favorite type of interaction?
Well, I mean, it I guess like kind of like a Euro style, kind of that get there first, or even if it's, maybe there's like 3 spots in a certain area, but like if you're the first one there, you get a little bit bigger bonus kind of thing. It's just trying to get there first to get a better result.
Yeah, I guess that I would say that's like indirect player interaction.
Yeah. I'm if you want more of a direct, I guess I do like trading games, but I'm not good at them. But
trading, like what do you mean?
Like Pit and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The kind of frantic stuff, but yeah, someone else go. I was more focused on the negative stuff. I didn't think about the good stuff.
What you got? What you got more negative?
No. But I was just
in that mindset.
Yeah, I pretty much kind of went with everything I had bad. So
I really like George? I like games where conflict is possible, but it's a bad idea, right? Like in Inish, you can have conflict and everyone can decide, okay, we're gonna fight, and some people are gonna just step into the Citadel and be safe, right? And then everyone else, you're losing a card which you desperately need, or you're losing an army piece that So your decision to fight and go ahead with that conflict is going to be really costly. So I think those kinds of games where you have to sort of, it's not just a free for all. Like I have more than you, so I'm just going to beat the crap out of you.
Yeah. There's another game that, man, what's it called? Is it Samurai? Man, I'm gonna have to look this up. There's a game, I think it's a Queen's game. It's called Samurai.
Heard of it.
What does the game do that you're?
Was it at the dice tower?
Or is it Shogun?
That the one,
is it Shogun? Man.
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what happens, and you all can tell me if I'm right or not. It is Shogun. So in Shogun, like it's a dudes on the map style, like Age of Empires kind of game, but everybody fights during certain phases. It just you can trigger when the fight happens, and like I'm not a big dudes on the map game or dudes on the map type of game, which is ironic because I used to play War Machine and Warhammer and stuff, but that's like one-on-one. And so when it comes to games like that, I love it. But then when there's more than 2 players and it's multiplayer, those type of games I don't like because then you can gang up on 2 people. Like 2 people can gang up on somebody else, or there's the cleanup crew, which is what I always call it. Whereas somebody gets really weakened from a fight with another player, and then the third person comes in and just wipes them because they have like nothing to defend with. They spent all their resources or whatnot. But in Shogun, you have this, that the fight's going to happen and everybody has to participate, but it only happens twice during each round of the game or whatever. And so like, that's one way to, I wouldn't say circumvent, but to make the fighting in games acceptable to me because everybody is kind of doing it. And it's not very arbitrary. It's not like, well, Matt, I'm going to attack you because my arm can only reach over here and you happen to be in those areas right next to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that was one of the strongest things about Cosmic Encounter is the deck that said, well, now you're fighting this guy.
Right. Yeah. The Destiny deck where you flip a card over. It's like red versus green, Yeah. Well, that I guess it's your turn and then you flip a card out and it's another player and you have to choose them.
Right.
That's a great example of negotiation, by the way, because man, that is crazy absurd. The amount of negotiation. Hey, who wants to be my ally?
Yeah. It makes me think there was I do kind of like games like that. I'm usually, again, not good at them, but I was just looking up Senji.
Oh, Senji is so great.
That's a lot of fun, but I mean, it's got a lot of that negotiation and stuff going on, but
that has a lot of diplomacy.
Yeah, like diplomacy.
You actually walk away from the table and start talking to people and you can text message each other. You can really talk in secret. And that's fun to some degree. I think most games I like if you're discussing things out loud, because it's a little bit less time consuming for the most part.
It can get a little timey on the trying to negotiate. That does have player elimination though, I think, doesn't it?
I don't think it has player elimination.
You can't. Okay, I couldn't remember if you got.
I think you're mostly like trading cards with people. Like, give me your knight, dude, and I'll trade for this, and give me some Hanafuda cards or whatever. That is a fantastic 6-player game. Man, that is such a good game. What do you all think about racing games? Is that like that player interaction? Do you enjoy that?
Oh yeah, I love racing games.
I generally like them.
Generic racing.
Generic racing. What do you mean?
As in like to me, a Scythe is kind of a racing game because you're racing to get so many stars.
That went the different way. Oh, I see what
But
you're saying.
I do like,
racing to an
yeah.
I
objective.
do like Formula One. That's a great racing game. And the bicycle one, Flamme Rouge, I like that one a lot. I mean, yeah, I like those type of games.
Actual racing, my favorite
Right.
is Formula 90. And then I really like all those other kinds of racing games that you're talking about, like Sunrise City and like you said,
Heat.
Scythe,
Oh, yeah.
games where you're just trying to get Euphoria. You're just trying to get the
Right.
things first. Yeah, I love those.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I mean, I did like Euphoria where my buddy saw what I was doing. Now, there's one he kind of ruined it, but I could see he was trying to foil me. So it wasn't like it was out of the blue. So I knew I was trying to be sneaky and do this one thing in Euphoria to win the game. And he knew what I was doing. He caught on. Nobody else did. So he stopped me, which that's fine because that's what you're supposed to do.
Mm.
But I like those type of games too. It gets because I like that feeling that you're anticipating. You're like, oh, I might win this one. And then somebody usually else gets there before you. It's kind of like bingo. But so I like being on the edge. You're like, oh, I think I got this plan down. And 99% of the time it fails, but I still like it.
Yeah. And it sort of depends on those kinds of racing games. How much can you get in the other person's way as opposed to just you're playing better and so you're out ahead, right? Sort of depends how much interaction there is as well.
But I mean, I'm more with Matt. I could think of what I didn't like more than I'm all over the range from I could play anything.
We're negative guys, I guess.
Yeah, I could play multiplayer solitaire or I could play co-op and everybody, I'm all over the place. If you did my top 20 of all time, it's probably all over the place on player interaction types. Because I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I could do either one. It's mainly having those people at the table with you.
I think that's a good point too, because if you look at games, it's like, well, I mean, maybe I don't like Take That, but I do like this game. And it has a lot of Take That because the game is good, or it's a length that's acceptable, or whatever. But this comes back to like the Tabletop Turtle video where he talks about newer games being more cozy and less player interaction and such. And those are good games. But how do you all feel about like the coziness of stuff like Earth or games where you're really not? It's like multiplayer solitaire. There's not a lot of player interaction.
Well, I do like Earth in the sense of somebody chooses an action and you get to do something. I like that kind of player interaction.
Yes.
Where, they choose an action and you still get to do something during that action because of what they chose. Even though it might not be what you were hoping they choose, you still get to do something.
Yeah,
I like that kind of player interaction.
Yeah, agreed. That's the big drawing point for Earth.
Yeah.
Other than just all the great photos.
Well, what about A Place for All My Books? Like that, there's no player interaction in that, correct?
There's some spots in town that, if they fill up, then you don't get to go there. But that's about it. It's very, very indirect. Yeah, that is the definition of a cozy game. So, but I love that game. That's one of my favorite recent ones.
Now, I mean, do you all agree? Like, I mean, we kind of already talked about this, but do you see any type of game that you like player interaction in that just doesn't happen as much anymore? I mean, I feel like there's no shortage of any type of game type, especially roll and writes.
I think it's all remain steady, remain the same. Cause like you said, there's so many games that come out every year. It's all the same. I mean, it probably goes along the whole spectrum of all player interactions. I don't think it's died away.
No, I don't think so either. And I think that ironically, other games like Earth and things like that sell really well because they cater to a bigger audience. And that's why we see those being talked about more. But even if we look at something like the top 100 list, which, like if we look through here, we got George's favorite Brass Birmingham. And then we got, which is pretty heavily player interaction, I think. At least maybe like going to spots first and taking stuff off the board quicker than other people. Arc Nova, you got Pandemic and Gloomhaven are more like co-op. And then Dune Imperium, Twilight Imperium, Terraforming Mars. I wonder if I could sort by. I should have done this before. I was going to take the top 100 and sort it by like date released, but some of these are newer. I mean, there's a 2017, there's 2020. There's another, that's other Gloomhaven. There's SETI. SETI's on there. That's pretty heavily like Slay the Spire. I mean, there's a lot of games like 2018 and higher. Like Scythe is 2016. I mean, I guess at that point that's 10 years ago. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's kind of sad. Sad news bears.
With Brass Birmingham, there's things about the game that really bugs me, but I won't say it's the interaction that did so. I think that actually the interaction in the game is quite good, where you can use other people's railroads or canals to transport your goods. That's a good kind of interaction because, you're using their routes. You're
very 18xx type
yeah, that's okay. That's good stuff. But then just the way the money worked and the fact that you have to what is it called when you throw stuff out from one of the earlier eras because it's in your way and you can't do anything if it's
right.
I forget what it's called now. Development. Yeah. I don't know. There were just lots of other things that I didn't like in that one.
If you don't like Brass Birmingham, don't play Lightning Train. It's about the same thing.
Okay.
You're building routes to deliver goods, and you can use other people's routes and stuff.
Well, no, I'm not saying that's not the bad part. That part is as far as that kind of interaction where you're sort of cooperatively building out this thing, and then getting points for being in the same region, sort of like Terra Mystica. That's good interaction. I don't mind that.
Let's ask ChatGPT. Top 10 board games with high player interaction. And then we can end this topic because I think we've kind of drove it into the ground. Unless y'all have anything else. Number one is
I'm okay with the cozy direction that gaming is taking. I'm okay with like puzzle games where you're doing parallel play as Tiny Turtle or whatever. What is his name?
Yeah. Tabletop Turtle.
Tiny Turtle.
As as he pointed out, like, I don't mind that kind of the solo, playing a game while other people are playing a game, but you're all playing the same game. That's fun. That's cool. Even that kind of Euro stuff, I'm okay with it. Like, it has its place. It all has its place.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we read this list, do y'all have any other points you wanted to bring up before we end it out? Matt, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So here's the top 10 according to AI. Top 10 games with high player interaction. You got Diplomacy as number 1. I mean, that's a pretty solid choice there. Then you got Cosmic Encounter. You have Root at number 3.
Yes.
Number 4 is the Dune board game. Fantastic.
Hey.
Man. And also it shows the Dune War for Arrakis as a picture, which got that wrong. Anyway, number 5 is the Resistance Avalon. One thing we didn't really talk about is social deduction type social interaction games.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I like that. Yeah.
Sure. Super popular. Blood on the Clock Tower.
There's not a lot of people that don't like those type of games, and at that point they're just probably super into one style of board game, and they don't really branch out.
Yeah.
Then you've got Catan. Shouldn't be on this list. You have number 7 is Chinatown.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, it's pure negotiation. That's it.
Number 8 is Power Grid.
Yeah.
It's funny because it shows Power Grid, but it also shows like Article whatever 76 as the main picture with the gavel. So well done.
I can see that Power Grid is a decent choice for that sort of indirect interaction.
That's fair. But I think the Article 76 or whatever it's called is I'm gonna have to get that right here in a minute, but we'll look it up. Number 9 is Twilight Imperium, and number 10 is Sheriff of Nottingham. So
man, I do like Root. Like that's a battle game, more or less. You're just fighting each other, and it's kind of like Dice Thrones. You're fighting each other. I mean, that's that player type of interaction I like.
I just got the expansion for Root that has the frogs.
Article 27.
The Homeland. I just got it too.
Yeah, and the frogs are supposed to be like non-combative. They're like a peaceful faction. I'm interested to see how that works.
I was saying Article 76. It's Article 27, the UN Security Council game.
Sounds terrible.
It's basically the negotiation game. I have this. We're going to play it. It's awesome. Anyway, we're going to end this not the episode, but we're going to end this topic. I mean, player interaction is still here. It has not diminished, like we were alluding to in the intro. There are plenty of games out there every single year coming out with this stuff. There's just more games coming out with very cozy multiplayer solitaire, I think. And that is getting the limelight in a lot of people's faces because You know, I actually thought about this before we did this episode. And I completely forgot to write this down until just now. So I'm glad it popped up in my head. I think another reason why it seems this way is there's a lot of new YouTube channels and stuff coming out with people who just got into the hobby. And right now the hobby is really flooded with a lot of these multiplayer solitaire games. And I think that when couples get on and make a YouTube channel, they're playing co-ops. They're playing cozy games.
Yeah.
A lot of couples don't like to play a game where they're at each other's throat. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of channels out there that are focused on that type of game. And that's fine. I'm not picking fun or doing anything, but I'm saying that the squeaky wheel right now is coziness, just like a bunch of time ago was rolling rights. And then, you know, it's like everything has like a phase. And right now we're in this cozy phase.
And maybe there's reason for that. Sorry to cut you off, but from what you were saying, just sort of spurred a thought. The fact that there's so many new gamers coming in, right? And maybe there's this process where we were saying, okay, with interaction is one thing, but gaming etiquette is a different thing. And so there's this process of learning that gaming etiquette. And if you're a new gamer and you don't know how it works, cozy's better for you because you're not going to run into those pitfalls, you know, and have those negative experiences because you don't know the etiquette yet.
Speaking of that, a long time ago, one of the first episodes I think we talked about, maybe in the first 20 or 30 episodes, we had a board gaming etiquette top 10 list type of thing, you know, that we talked about. And obviously this is going to change from people's gaming groups to gaming group. But, you know, like for instance, us, if the die goes off the table, it's dead. You're rolling it on the table in view, because you don't want somebody to roll the die off the table and be like, oh, it's a 6. Don't touch it. You know, no, because if it was a 1, you would absolutely grab that before it was done rolling. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Yeah. All this simple stuff. There's
like a little bit of etiquette. We won't get into it, but that would be a fun topic to do again.
Yeah.
Things have changed and
a lot of people need to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of new people. Yeah. Listen to our podcast. Listen to how we, what we deem as
something. Maybe this is an odd take, but another thing with the coziness might just be the generation of people coming into gaming now.
Oh yeah.
You got a lot of people that are more introverted.
That's true.
Don't want consequence from something else going on. So it's just easy to just sit here and do my own thing.
It's too stressful to.
Exactly. It's not picking on the generation, but that's just kind of how they're built now.
They're just like trading through text messaging. Yeah. Would you trade wood for me? For my brick?
I think there's a lot to that.
There is. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot like of stressful stuff out there. Like you don't want to bring your hobby into causing more, maybe. Yeah, I can see that.
Really, it's just Gen Z's fault, right? Is that the new one?
Well, wait, I mean, just
isn't it the boomers? It's the boomers.
Yeah. No, the boomers are fine. They'll fist fight you over trading wood for stone.
But it's their fault. I'm saying it's all their fault.
Oh yeah.
No, I think the fault is the internet. The internet and the phones have made people really just socially interactive through their device and not necessarily person to person. And board gaming is a very person to person hobby. And they go and sit down with people and they're taken back by some people that's very extroverted or have been playing board games a lot, because it does get intimidating sometimes if you're playing with somebody who's like, oh, this guy's really good at games. And then you're like, man, I get nervous asking how a rule works, you know, or whatever. Yeah. So I think some of that can play into it a lot, you know, and people like to play this very non-competitive. And I think a social element too. A lot of casual gamers just want to talk as they're playing. And if you don't have to interact and be upset with somebody taking your spot or taking your move or taking your area, and you're just simply solving that puzzle, then
I can almost go on that, because I look at it as just a social get together. I don't want to have to think too heavy on stuff. I'm more happy just kind of being there, being chill and playing. It doesn't mean I can't handle a heavy game. And Eric reckon me. I bring Eric up a couple times, but
for the record, I did ask Eric 10 minutes before this episode started if he wanted to join us. So he could have defended himself.
What do they say? Just get good, right? I gotta get better.
But you play with Eric's wife, and she's the exact same. She'll do the same thing to you.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they've taught each other how to do it.
Yeah, she is sneaky.
You know what's coming with Eric. She's just sneaky.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that also matters too, the gaming group. That I think the conversation at the end of this got way better than the beginning of it. But anyway, like your gaming group really matters too, because if you're playing with a bunch of strangers, it's a little bit weird to play certain types of games and have that direct or very heavy interaction. But if you're playing with the same people you've been playing with for 10 years or plus or whatever, it's like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to make him mad, and 2 seconds later, we're going to be shaking hands. You know what I mean? Having a beer. I don't drink.
Yeah, that's why Nemesis works with my group, because we just, we can get each other killed, but we still laugh about it. Move on.
Yeah. It's sometimes the design of the game is that's the way it goes, and it, and you just enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely highly recommend finding a gaming group that you play with a lot, because it's just the interaction with people you start to get to know.
Yeah. I actually do not like playing with people that I don't know. So if I go to a convention, I don't really like people who would just walk up and be like, hey, you mind if I join you? Because, man, I don't know if you're going to be slow. I ain't got time to sit around and wait for you to like just be, AP for 25 minutes to see which way you want to move, left or right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the thing is the board gaming etiquette really changes the people you want to play with or whatever.
Absolutely. And
it changes the type of player interaction. So I could like a game, but then play it with certain people and not like player interaction, like negotiation. Some people are way too heavily on making sure that deal goes through. Like their promotion wanes in the distance on whether or not you trade that wood for stone. So
yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
All right. Well, I think we hammered this into the ground. So we're going to move on to some games that we've played and talk about them. And first up on our games that we're going to review on this episode is Emberhe. And Emberhe is it's kind of like a worker placement game. I'm trying to draw that. Well, first I'm trying to share the screen. Anyway, Emberhe is designed by Rob Fisher and Adam Porter, and this is published by Mind Clash Games. It's a game about dragons. There's some theme, a mystical island of Emberhe is home to the last dragons. I'm going to read this like Viking style. They were living in harmony with the villagers until poachers from the distant lands arrived to capture, raid, and plunder.
I thought you were going to go with the Scottish.
The pirate.
That's what I thought it was. I thought he was going to bust out the bagpipes
like
or something.
3 different characters in one sentence.
I thought you were going for the Scottish of how to train your dragon.
Yeah.
I was just showcasing all in one sentence. You got like 6 seconds to grab that. It's like. Anyway, Emberhe is a game where it's a worker placement game, but it's also kind of a bidding game. So each player has a player board that has these basically powers for your dragon. But in addition to that, there's a main board in the middle. And what you're trying to do is collect things from these different areas. There's 6 big areas in total, and there's 2 areas that you can kind of go to if you need stuff and you can't really do much on your turn. But basically, over 5 rounds, you will be grabbing all these cards and putting dragons with people. So each area, such as the Heroes Guild, will have 5 spaces. And on your turn, you're going to put out bidding tokens. But in order to place them at a spot, you have to, underneath of them, put these little worker guys. And so if you wanted to take spot 3 of the Heroes Guild, you would have to put 3 tokens under it. And those tokens can be generic workers. I'm calling them workers because I can't remember what the actual name of them are, but whatever.
Grunts.
Are they grunts? Yeah. So they're grunts, and then there's specialist. And those are 3 colors, and they are restricted to the spaces. So the Heroes Guild can have yellow specialists, but they can have grunts. Anything can have grunts. And the difference is the grunts go away when you spend them, whereas the specialists come back to your hand. They're just limited to 1 or 2 spots on the board where they can go. So everybody will go around the board placing their bidding tokens on these different spots until all your bidding tokens are down. And then you will resolve each spot. So the Heroes Guild will resolve. Whoever has the highest number there will go first and take one of the cards, so on and so forth. If you don't want something or you can't take something, then you will get like a consolation prize of 2 gear tokens. And those gear tokens will allow you to change your specialist from one type to another. You'll go around the board and resolve all these different actions. And basically you're getting people from the Heroes Guild to ride these dragons or whatever. And so if you get a green person, you can put it on a green dragon, and that's going to give you points, but it's also going to unlock the ability of the hero that you got. And that hero will have like passive abilities, or like anytime this happens, you get +1 of that type of resource or whatever the case is, right? There's all kinds of different special abilities. Then the tavern will give you more workers, or whatever you want to call it, the grunts and the specialty workers. The poacher's camp will give you dragons. The mountain will also give you dragons. The preserve will give you land cards. And when you attach a land to the same color dragon, it will actually raise one of your tracks on your player or on your dragon board up. And then the garrison will give you, it's like a objective. So you have to have so many of this or so many of that, like 5 green dragons plus 4 in any combination of red and blue. And you get 7 points for that card. Plus you also get to move up on your dragon special ability tracks on your main character. And so this will go on 5 times throughout the game. Eventually you can pass during your turn, you can also take one of these shields, and these shields will give you like kind of like a little special ability, or like, you know, maybe you get to go first next time, or you'll get gear tokens or whatnot. There's also these poacher raid things. There's 2 cards. They're negative, but only one of them will really apply, because eventually somebody will take the shield token, which will be able to be placed on one of those cards to deny its effects. And then only one of those gets applied. So once the round is over, you're going to apply the raid thing, and it might give you might have to kill off guys, not the heroes, but the little workers, based on how many blue dragons you have, so to speak. So there's negative effects. Anyway, the only other couple of things I'll say without going too deep into it is everybody has a dragon token that can be placed on their bidding token. And then it has these 3 tracks, red, blue, and green, matching the dragon colors. And that will give you your power, or that will increase either the power of the dragon. So the dragon might have an innate strength of 1, 2, or 3. So when you go and take like the 4 spot and you put your dragon there, if you have 3 strength with the dragon, then you only have to put 1 worker underneath of it. Stuff like that. And there's some other abilities that it gives you as well. But basically you play 5 rounds, you're collecting all these cards, you're combining either land or people or heroes, with the same color dragon to be able to get points from that stuff. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most points is going to win. There's also a track, the flame track. And as you go up on that, that's negative or positive points based on how far away you are from other players. So, or from the player who has the most fire. So as you collect fire, and you might get fire because you take a tavern card that gives you less people, like workers, than the other ones that give you a lot, right? And so it's used in such a way that says, this is a powerful card, but you take a negative for it as well, because you go up on the fire track. And that's basically the game. You just, you play those 5 rounds, you count up the points at the end, and however many, points you get, whoever has the most is the winner. So Matt, what was your take on this?
To start with, I cannot speak highly enough of how much the theme was like just on point. I felt like I was saving dragons. By the way, Tim, you had some disparaging comments about dragons before we started, and
I did.
Yeah.
What did I say? This is going to be great.
I can't even say it, but as an ally of the dragon community, I'm condemning your comments.
I don't even know what I said.
I don't even want to repeat it. So I think you were joking, but it's fine. No, but you feel like you're rescuing these dragons, and you're getting these lords or whatever the people are, and they give you your little effects and everything, and no, it's pretty cool. The fire track, maybe they did that to balance the game a little bit, not make you pick up cards that were super powered, to make you think if, you're getting this, but there is a negative effect. That fire track was whatever.
I think it's supposed to be tied into like your dragon is burning you in some way. Like,
I don't get that. I'm helping the dragon. Why is he burning me? So, but it's
in his nature.
It's in his nature. Okay.
Yeah, well, you get a little too close.
All right.
It is kind of like the fire track is similar to, like, you don't have to outswim the shark. You just have to outswim the person who is slower than you,
right,
type of deal. Because you get point, like in the example that I'm showing on screen, which doesn't work for the podcast, but basically blue is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces away from white, who has the most fire. And so 9 spaces away gives you 16 points. If you're 5 spaces away, it only gives you 6. So it's like a progressive scoring based on how far the distance is from the most fiery person to the least fiery person. And then everybody in between is the same way. So white is getting 0 points but everybody else gets bonus points for how far away from white they are. And
Can
so
you-
it does make sense in the game because it is applied to cards that are more points. So like some of the dragons have fire tokens on them, which I wouldn't say is because they give you more points, because like, for instance, this one's 3 points and it moves you up on the fire once, but this one's 5 and it moves you up on twice. And this one's 2 and it gives you none. So, but then again, it's also, part of the bidding process too, because if you could pick first, you get to pick the one without fire. If you pick second, maybe you have to pick one that has fire, type of deal.
So the person who's not getting a lot of fire on the fire track is being more careful and taking better care of the dragon so he doesn't get burned as much. That's why he gets more points
Yeah.
thematically.
Do the players pick which area triggers, or is it just go in order?
It goes in order, just clockwise around the board.
And could you have taken the trash off the table before you took the photo, or?
I was going to say that. This wasn't his picture, I don't think.
Oh, this?
That looks
Is this
like
your
his table.
picture?
That's my picture.
Oh, why did you leave that punch out on the table?
Oh, my bad. I got
I thought this was on Board Game Geek or
Oh
something.
my God. Let me AI remove that real quick in post.
That's funny. I thought the same thing.
I don't even know what that's from. Oh, you know what it's from? That's from a different game. That's a punch. Why is it on the board? It's sat there the whole time, and it's not even from this game. This is all right. So there's a little game called Fire in the Hole. It's like a pirate ship, and you build this little X that you fill in one of those.
Oh,
spots.
yeah. You were showing me that before we started.
Yeah, and it sat there the whole game.
I guess so.
Wow. All right. Well, good for it. It made a cameo appearance.
I
Some
do
of the
like.
things-
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, James.
I do like the Luthier type bidding action for each location. I like that a lot.
I mean, it's not necessarily hidden. It's like first come, first serve. So if I go to the Heroes Guild and I put a bunch of tokens on there and I take the spot 4, when you go, you might put more and get the spot 5. So you know
have
for
to.
sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, you
If
don't.
you're going to go first. If you want to
If
go
you want to
first,
go first.
Yeah.
If you want
What's
to
a-
go first.
So what is that dragon token sitting there on 4?
it adds to the total.
Yeah. So
Oh,
like
okay.
if in this example, white put a dragon token on their piece, and I think they have 1 token underneath of it.
Yeah, it must be worth 3 then.
So their dragon's power is naturally 3 plus
Okay.
the 1 worker they put under there, so they can take the 4 spot. Whereas if you look at the pink player, they had to put a bunch of tokens under there because they don't have a dragon to inflate the strength of their action. So I like that part because it's not necessarily hidden. If you go on 3, you're saying, I don't know what I'm going to do, right? Because people could go below you just to see what kind of consolation they get out of just taking it.
Yeah.
Because if you go on the 1 spot, you're saying, I don't care what happens if no one takes, for instance, in this picture in the preserve, the teal player went and it's the only player who went there and they went on the 1 space, but no one else put bidding tokens on it. So they got the whatever card pick they
Right.
want, which in this case is all 3 of the exact same card, but whatever.
Yeah, that's why nobody else went there.
Yeah, no one else needed blue land cards, but that person needed it. And so they went and they're going to get a card basically for free if they put a worker that was blue, because the blue worker can go there and you get it back. But if you put a grunt, which is the gray worker, then it goes away. So I do like that aspect of it. It's not necessarily hidden, but there is a gamble to not taking the very for sure first player. Like you could take 4 and you're like, there's 2 of the 3 cards I would like to have.
Yeah.
And so in that case, I don't care if so I might save a worker to not take the 5 spot. And then maybe if somebody else doesn't want to spend that much, then I know I'm going to go first anyway. So I really like that aspect. Ultimately though, I think the game is it's very straightforward. One of my favorite aspects to it though, is that poacher's raid. So at the end of each round, everyone's going to be suffering the same essentially bad event where you're going to lose workers based on having so many of something like red dragons or blue dragons or how many gear tokens you have or whatever. I don't remember all the actual things that they do, but in this example, it's red dragons or blue dragons.
Yeah.
And so if you look around the board and you're like, I don't have any red dragons, I don't care, but I have a lot of blue dragons and I don't want that to happen. So as your action, you can take the shield icon and then at the end of the round, you can cancel out one of those 2 effects. And so that's a pretty cool thing because maybe there's a little bit of thought, like I really need to go and get this red dragon from the that one space, the poacher's camp, where the dragons are. Maybe you need a red dragon, but then I know Matt really wants to get the shield to be able to cancel out one of those effects because he has tons of blue dragons. You know what I mean? And so there's a little bit of turn order matters.
Right. And so one of those shields gives you first in the turn order as well.
Yes.
And
so, yeah.
When all those shields are taken, that's the end of the round, right?
No, everybody still puts all their bidding tokens out and all the shields. It's when everybody passes.
Okay.
So typically the shields will be taken because they're free to take. So all 4 shields will be taken, even if the same player takes all 4, because you can have multiple shields. But you may not play all your bidding tokens because you may not have enough workers to place under it. So if you place, if you're taking a lot of high, cost spaces, you may not have workers to do anything with the last stuff. So
okay, right, because certain spaces you lose workers by going there.
Well, all of the gray workers that you place go away.
Okay.
At the end of the round when you collect all your stuff back. But the colored special workers like the blue and the purple and the yellow, you get those back. They're just limited. So like the blue can go to 2 of the 6 spaces and yellow can go to 2 and purple can only go to 1. Which brings me to the one thing that a lot of people have complained about, the mountain. It's the only spot that works like this. And it's effectively 3 spaces in one because it's like a pyramid of cards. And so when you resolve this spot, it's a little confusing. You effectively will do the same thing. Like whoever has the most takes 1 card, whoever has second most there takes the next card, etc. But it also, if you put purple, I don't remember what they're called, like druids or something, or monks, I don't remember. But if you put the purple workers there, you kill one off and then you get to go up on this other section up here and you get to do it again for round 2, which is 2 dragons. And then whoever has purple guys left over will take the top dragon. And it's really confusing because it does work a lot differently. And it's really kind of hard to think ahead of time and be like, okay, I need a bunch of purple guys up there. Because you really need to put 3 or 4 purple guys under it to be able to advance up to get the top dragon.
Yeah.
And you get bonuses for taking it because any dragon card can go there, but there's printed bonuses on the board that gives you extra stuff. I feel like they could have slimmed that down a little bit. That is a complicated spot, whereas everything is literally just take a card that's on display.
Okay. Yeah, the game looks super simple.
Super simple. What do you think about the art?
Love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How about you, James?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like the art. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, it's good.
I've never seen an
nice.
Andrew Bosley game that I didn't like the art.
I'm glad you said something because everybody, that was the most inspiring. Yeah, that's good. I like it.
No, it's Andrew Bosley is really very one of the top artists, and I don't think he's oversaturated. I haven't gotten entirely tired of his art yet.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I like the artist because you can zoom in and there's still a lot of detail in what's going on. I think there's a couple of artists with like the whatever the West Kingdom games or whatever they call
Miko or whatever it's
the Miko.
Oh, I can't stand it.
It's really good from a distance, and then it's like watching somebody's Warhammer army that's painted really crappy. Because once you get it zoomed in on one character, you're like, dude looks cross-eyed, and you don't even have half his arm painted. But like from a distance with like 30 or 40 models, it looks good. But when you zoom in on the art, it gets really bad. I remember we were looking at one of those games, and like the guy has a shovel, and the shovel's like 3 times bigger than his old body, and I'm like, what is happening, man? It's got very good art.
I don't mind that art.
Yeah.
The
It's more
Miko, I
fun
can't
listening to
stand
you
it.
complain about it when we were playing Architects.
Oh, that's what it was. Architects. Yes. Man, because when you play it on Tabletop Simulator, you can zoom in really close. And I was like, this is ridiculous. But it's good at a distance. And if you see a lot of things, it's just when you get real close. In this game, though, yeah, the art, you get real close and the art's really nice. It's very detailed.
Yeah.
And some variety in the dragons as well.
It does. It does.
They may have hired a real artist. Did you say it was somebody, Andrew Bosley?
Yes.
When he 8 is enough or something?
What?
What?
I'm showing my age. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know that actor.
Yellow and blue make green guy.
Blue McGreen guy.
Not a clue.
All right, back on topic.
I'm really going back in the archives. I'm sorry.
Is that the guy who did the commercials for Quaker Oats?
No,
and
that's
Diabetes.
yeah, that's
Diabetes.
from Brumley,
Rumley. Yeah.
Brumford,
Okay.
right. Well, anyway, so to wrap up with Emberheart, I think I would give this a 7 out of 10. Matt, this is absolutely probably off the wall for you. Because
I'd probably say about the same. Also, it's got a little track that you get to use. I like games with that. So
I like tracks.
Yeah, tracks are cool.
I like turtles.
Turtles. Anyway, that is Emberheart by Mind Clash Games.
Looking forward to it.
The next game and the last game we have on this episode that we're going to talk about is a Thunderworks game, and that is not on BGAs. We're just going to share some pictures. This is a game that's being announced soon. When this podcast is obviously up, it will be announced. This is called Questline. This is by Thunderworks Games, and it is a small little card game in which you have a deck of class cards and a deck of adventure cards. And you're going to be forming what's called a quest line. And this quest line is 7 cards in your hand. And at that point, you're going to lay them, like, once everybody is done, you lay them all out in front of you. So to kind of give you an idea of how this game works, we're going to talk about the scoring first, and then I'll tell you how the game plays. When you lay all your cards down at the end, because you'll go in order of, whoever took the highest epilogue card, there's a card in the middle and you take one when you're done. And once everybody's done with the game, whoever took the highest one will start. You lay out your quest line, and your first quest line is going to be the number 1 card, which is a class. So in this case, it's a bard. And the bard has they'll have one or two of these symbols, and there's only 3 symbols. There's agility, there's magic, and there's might or whatever. And then you have a scoring opportunity. And this one says you get +1 point for every, there's like this purple speech bubble. There's these little tags that show up on all the other cards. And I think there's like maybe 4 or 5 total, but there's only 1 or 2 on each card. And so like you'll get +1 for every social bubble that shows up on all the cards to the right of this card. And then the next card is a number 2. And this one will give you, all these adventure cards have, well, not all of them, but most of them have a printed value. In this case, it's 2. It will have a special ability possibly, and more scoring opportunities as well. And then so you go on to number 3 and number 4, etc. You can skip card numbers. Like if you want to skip from, if you want to skip the number 7 in this example, earlier on I had a card that gives a shortcut. It lets you skip, but the card that you skip to must be a house card, like a card with the icon of a house at the top right. And as you're scoring these, one thing I'll point out to this game is that all the card titles and the sub scoring things have like a story along with it. And so because this is your quest lines, right? So I'm a bard, and my second card is I freed the wrongly accused, which gives me 2 points. And then I move on to I woke to a terrifying screech. That gives me 3 points. And the scoring down below says if you have a forest icon to the left somewhere, which we do, the little flavor text says, and I knew the sound all too well. And then the last one I'll go into because it's, unnecessary to keep going, but it's a question mark. So I can use this as any number in my quest line. In this case, it's the number 4, and that will give you 2 points. It says found a relic for Chronomage. And then it says if you have the magic icon, you completed the quest before it even began. And if you
because
have
it's a Chronomage.
Yeah, because it's a Chronomage. And the castle icon, which we don't have, means we didn't know where to look, right? And so, or it says you know where to look if you completed it. And so that's kind of like the idea is you're building this quest line of your character and how they did things. And the quest got harder and harder and harder. Like, the number 9 card here is eliminated an enraged Cyclops. And we evaded his blows because we have the agility icon. In essence, though, you're just getting points per cards. And then you will have this epilogue card. So the way the game plays, though, is basically on your turn. Well, sorry, there is no turns. I should start with that. There are no turns in this game. This is a real-time game, but it is not necessarily a speed game. It's real-time, and there's a speed element, but it's not who plays the fastest. So there's epilogue cards, and you place those in the middle of the table. Those are scored 1 through 6. And depending on your player count, you'll remove some of those. So in a 6-player game, you use them all, and you stack them. And on your turn, I keep saying that. That's just like such a common thing to say. Anyway, everybody says 3, 2, 1, go. You have a hand of cards that you start with, and then you will either draw a card or discard a card. When you discard a card, you put it face up in front of you, much like Fantasy Realms. it's not a discard pile, it's a discard area. So you'll have all these different discard cards in front of you. So will other players. When you draw a card, you can draw it from either the class deck or the adventure deck or from your discard area or the player to your left or right discard area. So the reason I say it's not a speed game is because you might be waiting for the players to your left and right to play cards in front of them as well so that you can take stuff from them. There is a hand limit. There's a discard area limit. So that also slows you down. But when you're satisfied with your hand, you basically fold them. You also remove all the discard area in front of you, which removes the choice from the players to your left and right. So they have one less player to pick cards from. And then you grab the epilogue card of the highest value. Once everybody's done, then whoever has the highest epilogue card, you'll go through and score. Just like I showed you at the beginning, your quest line from, start to finish. And whoever has the most points is the winner. We'll start with you, Matt, since I've been talking for a minute. What'd you think of this one?
It was fun. It kind of freaked me out whenever it was the real time like speed element, or that's what you first think whenever you're like, everybody just does, chaotic card movement, but it's a little bit more slower paced than what you'd initially think because everyone's trying to think and organize their hand and everything. You're just sitting there trying to build kind of almost like a tableau inside your hand, I guess, and make it all work together. No, it's a good time. I really like the artwork and everything on the cards. I feel like you look at a card, they're each one's interesting. You're wondering what's going on in that card. Then you read the little flavor text. It's like, oh, okay, it goes with that. So, no, it's definitely an interesting looking game and very pretty. So.
And I will mention that this takes place in the world of Ulos or whatever it is. It's the role player, the Thunderworks own world type of thing, like the like role player. What other games they got? Like Spy and Spire Architects, and they've got
the one about the prison.
Yeah, the lockup.
Lockup, yeah.
So they have a lot of games in this same realm. And if you look at this game, it's all the same kind of icons too, like the victory points of the little stars and all the symbols at the top right, the different. Well, most of them anyway are like the symbols that you see in cartographers, like the forest.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like the forest and the house and stuff. So they use a lot of the same graphic design that you would see in Role Player and there are other games of that same world. So it's very familiar when you look at it, which is nice. And I will tell you this, I've played it a whole bunch of times now, and it's fun to read the cards off, but eventually you're just like 4 points. 6 points, 7 points. You don't go through this whole stuff and role-playing aspect of reading all I infiltrated the collector's vault for 5 points and never once triggered its traps for +2. I mean, it's fun and it's a cool thing to do. And if you play games with people who like role-playing games, I think they would like that aspect of it, that improv. It's not really improv because you're just reading a card, but that
you'd have to add that rule. You have to tell a little story for every card.
You have to tell a story. The guy behind me had a torch and he burned my cloak. Overall, though, I'll say this. Is it good? I liked it. I'm not going to say it's amazing. It's a very cool filler, though. The box says 15 minutes and this game is like 7. It was really fast, right?
Oh yeah. And then the only thing that I did have concern, which you might be able to answer, how many times have you played it?
Like half a dozen.
Half a dozen? I mean, does it get kind of stale at that point?
It does.
Okay.
That is one thing I'm going to bring up.
Okay. Cause that was the one thing just on one playthrough. I'm like, I don't know how many times you can play this and keep it going. So
yeah, here's the thing. Let's talk some issues here. Number one, the game has 72 adventure cards. You will see 20 throughout the gameplay, and you see the same ones over and over a lot, which also diminishes the idea of reading the cards at the end of the game if you've played it a bunch.
Sure.
The player count is interesting too. This game is awful at 2 players. Just throwing it out there, and the reason why is this. There is a solo mode. I'm not going to comment on that. It has its own pages dedicated to that, so let's leave that out. But 2 players, here's the thing. The other player, when they go out, they don't have to fold their discard pile, so it doesn't eliminate that option. But here is one rule that happens. The last player left in the round, even if it was 6 players, if it goes down to 1 person, they only get 2 actions and then their turn ends. So at 2 players, it is a speed game. I will, if my hand is moderately good, I will stop, I will quit, I will grab the best epilogue card, and then you've got 2 draw or discards to finish your turn. So it is a very bad 2-player game. Just throwing that out there. I don't think this is meant to be a 2-player game. I think it is more meant to be more players. I think it plays probably the best at 6. It definitely plays best at 4+, because you want people to your left and right, and I don't know. So with that being said, though, the game does get stale because the cards are really 3 things. They're a number that they have to be in whatever order. I should mention the cards don't have to be in that order. Like you could put down a 1 and then a 2 and then you can skip the 3 and go to another 3, and then you can go to a 5, a 4, and then go back down to 3, and then go back up to 4, and then 5.
Oh, I thought you had to have them in order.
You don't have to have them in order. The rule is that every number before it has to exist on the left. You know what I'm saying? So like you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 5, and one of the good ways is like 1, 2, and have a card that goes 3, 4, 5, and then have skip the 6 because you had a shortcut somehow, and then go 7, 7, 7. So the idea is you do want to go on to the higher cards,
right?
And there's one card in the game. Man, I don't think I have a screenshot of it. There's one card in the game called Served a Demon. And I feel like for the most part, it's overpowered. And I'll say that because it's not a lot of negative points, and it gives you effectively a shortcut of 2 because it is a 3, 4, and a 5 card. I'm going to do this live. I apologize if you're...
You done ripped the card up. You can't find it.
Yeah. I chaos confetti that thing. Oh, anyway, here it is. Served a Demon. It's 3, 4, and 5, and it's only a -3 victory point thing. But here's what happens. You have a 1, and maybe your guy has a shortcut, so you can shortcut directly to this card. So 1, and your second card is 3, 4, 5, and now you can focus on a 6, and then a 7, 7, 8, 9. And there's only 1 10 in the game, and there's a handful of 9s. And so getting this is really powerful, and there's only 1 copy of it.
And you tend to get more points for the higher number of cards.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
And so if you look at, like this, in this example, the number 7 naturally gives you 6 points. The number 4 naturally gives you 4. Now 5 gives you 5, this 5, 5. So it's like almost point value for what the card is.
Okay.
And on top of that, look at that, like 6 points for the 7, plus if you have the magic symbol, it's another 3.
To the left of a later card, you're probably going to have it. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, because it's the last card in your line. Like this number 9 gives you 8 points. This number 8 gives you 9 points, which is kind of weird. And then this 5 and 6 just gives you 3. But the big thing about it is that it's a built-in skip.
Yeah.
And so like being able to get higher numbers is better, obviously. And that's part of the game of, oh man, if I did this and this and this, but this one gives me points for having the swords and I don't have any cards with that, So it's kind of cool, like on your, when you're playing through the game, like trying to figure out what is best to keep. But a lot of it is kind of, is this good enough? Not necessarily min-maxing.
It seems like the game is very much an implementation of the Fantasy Realms idea, but seeking to solve some of the issues that Fantasy Realms has.
There are no issues in Fantasy
Realms. Right. What issues?
I don't get
for
this
example,
joke.
It is a phenomenal game.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. For example,
it's kind of the same game. It's kind of the same game. But listen, in Fantasy Realms, right? You take a card and you play a card. That's it. That's all you do. Talk about games with no interaction, right? This solves that issue and says you can take a card from the table, from the left, from the right. You're interacting with the people around you in a way.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. With Fantasy Realms, everybody's dealing with the same discard pile in the middle.
And if you finish, you take a card out of the middle that's a good card. So there's that too. Like they're putting interaction into that.
If you have the necromancer. But anyway, the point is.
That's one. And then the second thing is the scoring. The scoring in this is simple.
It is very simple in comparison, for sure. Fantasy
Realms, it's like, okay, we played this 10-minute game and hang on, now it takes us 15 just to do the math.
Matt's catching up on Fantasy Realms. But anyway, the difference though is this game is so fast. It's like 5 or 6 minutes, 7 minutes. It is a very quick game.
Yeah, so it beats Fantasy Realms there as well, I would think.
It does to some degree, but the interactions between the cards are very basic. Like, I need blue card. Don't have blue card. Move on to this card. It says I need red card. Cool. You know what I mean? It really is that simple. And I'm not trying to be like demeaning to the game for that. But if you distill it down to the art, or if you distill the art away, this card is number 3. It has a green icon and a purple icon. It's worth 3 points, and 2 if you have another green card to the left.
Yeah.
And so
more straightforward.
It's very straightforward. It's got a cool element. I think a lot of people are going to like it because of the idea behind reading off the cards at the end and having this quest line, this adventure your character went on. Yeah. That dies out quickly. And then you're left with a game that basically is, a deck of playing cards with a few more icons. And what's good and bad about that is the replayability immediately is like, you play it 2 or 3 times, you're like, cool, that's cool. That was 15, 20 minutes, and let's move on to the main course, of the meal.
Right.
As, and then you play it next time. You pull it out once here and once there. Fantasy Realms, maybe this is just personal at this point, but Fantasy Realms, I feel like you can just sit there and play it over and over and over.
Yeah.
Ooh,
it is like playing a traditional card game. Like, you could play poker 1,000 times in a row. You cannot play Questline 1,000 times in a row. I feel like you can play Fantasy Realms 1,000 times in a row.
Oh,
personal opinion.
I mean, I do like the mechanic of the Fantasy Realms mechanic where you're trying to synergize your cards to score, the maximum points. But I don't see I would want to play. I would definitely want to play this game, but I don't know if I would want to buy it or keep it. Just for that reason, like you said, Fantasy Realms, I already have that. I love that game. I'd even put Red Rising above what I'm seeing better than this. But
I mean, that's a hard comparison because I think Red Rising is a lot longer of a game. This is
True.
like a small little card box.
It's a gamery Fantasy Realms.
The way I was kind of explaining this to some people is it's Fantasy Realms with a touch of Far Away kind of mixed together. And that,
right.
But then you add a real-time element.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good.
It's definitely doing something unique. And that is what I'll say. Because how many real-time games like this are there? Like it is kudos. It's a really cool game. I have some issues with it. Also, the rule book has a little bit of, and this might not, I'm pretty sure this was a production box copy of the game is what I was been told. This is not, I should have started with this. This is a review copy. I did not receive this review copy. I got it from a friend and I'm just using it for right now. So I like Thunderworks games. I love all their stuff that they've published, but I'm not afraid to say if something sucks. I'm not saying this game is bad. I'm not saying it's a 10. I would say it's probably for me a high, maybe a mid 6.5, maybe a 6.8. But the more I play it, it kind of goes down. And I think it's a game that you do need to like play as a filler and leave it as a filler and don't make it overstay its welcome. Right. It doesn't overstay its welcome, but you can easily make it overstay its welcome, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think I would not do this. I wouldn't try to make an evening out of this game. Absolutely not. It would be a filler, and that's what it's going for.
Obviously, if it says 15 minutes, you're making an evening out of it. That's just like torture.
No, you play this while you're waiting on someone to show up.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Which is ironically how we did it.
Yeah. It seems easier to explain and score than Fantasy Realms. So I think it'll see more game time.
I'm pretty sure it took me longer to explain the game, and I'm being silly, than to actually play it.
No, I think you're right. And use a pencil when you score this, or was that on Emberhe?
I used the score pad that came with it.
No, one of them. Remember, we started doing the scoring wrong with the pen. Never mind, you must not remember.
Oh,
you got upset because you had to waste a sheet.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's happened. But I don't know. I mean, overall, I said my final thoughts. Matt, you got anything left?
No, I mean, I think we're on the same page with everything.
What do you guys? What's your first impressions of this? Well, I guess James kind of already said it, but you can read.
Yeah, that's fine. I agree with you. I think it's fun. It'd be a lot of fun at the beginning, but then after a while, the replayability doesn't look like it's there, like Fantasy Realms.
Yeah. What about you, George?
I'm excited for it. I think it'll be one I would prefer to Fantasy Realms. Just I could be wrong. I'd like to try it and find out.
Yeah, I think it's going to make a good splash. It's going to be a hit for a little bit. And then I think the role playing aspect will die quick on a lot of people, and then it'll just be another kind of it's good. Yeah, I have a copy of it. That's cool. type of game, which I kudos for this though. I really like the role playing, read off the cards, have this little quest and adventure for your character. It is really cool. It's really unique.
Yeah.
It's novel though.
I think I'm going to get the game and I'm going to put a D10 in the box. And then after you're done, you roll the D10 and you have to tell the story of that particular card that you ended up with.
You just need to play Adventure Party by Smirking Down. Anyway.
I love that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
there
great
you
game.
go. It already exists. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. This is Questline from Thunderworks Games. And with that being said, we are at the end of our 10-year anniversary show. It has been 10 years. Actually, it's been a little over 10 years. This episode, this is like the end of April. April 6th was the first episode, Matt. And I actually am kicking myself because the first episode was what entitles Monopoly and being a classic.
Interesting.
And I wasn't thinking about a 10-year anniversary episode. I was like, man, I want to go back and do some of the old stuff because it's been a long time.
Right.
And so last episode, we had that classic thing. And I should have been like, man, I should have saved that for Matt. That would have made way more sense.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, but
Next time.
yeah, next time.
10 years from now.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Anybody got some closing thoughts? Are we good?
I'm good.
Cool.
Yeah,
Here's to
congrats.
another 10.
Absolutely.
Share and like this if you liked it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's about time to wrap this episode up. Thank you for tuning in to episode 162 of the MeepleCore Gaming Podcast. This episode was recorded on April 24th, 2026. Please send us your questions and comments to meeplecore@gmail.com. Follow MeepleCore on your favorite social media platforms and check out the video versions of the show on YouTube that I never edit on youtube.com/MeepleCore. And until next time, this is Tim Jennette, the Metal Meeple.
George Breden.
James Fitzgerald.
And RoBear.
Keep on rocking and rolling dice.